Hello everyone, my name is Vimbiso Chacha. I'm the head of Multimedia Resource Center in the University of Zimbabwe College of Health Sciences. We are so proud and so excited to be hosting the Afcc LabMed Internet Radio. It is the first of its kind being run by the ZACB in the Department of Pathology. We are also very excited and proud to be partners to the IFCC World Lab Conference being held in Durban. Thank you.
Hello viewers, my name is Henry Maronga, the first producer of AFCC LabMed Internet Radio. I am also representing Coolbright Informatics International, which is a close partner of ZACB within the AFCC LabMed Internet Radio. The first production occurred on the 25th of November 2016. I am also privileged to be part of the first video production of the AFCC LabMed Internet Radio. It is our duty to provide high-quality products and services. These include health information, internet services, and educational packages to the population at large at a global scale. I would also want to say thank you to Faith Nyarabi, who we are working together at the IFCC World Lab Durban Conference 2017. It is our duty to provide the highest quality of products and services to everyone. For more information, please email us at coolbright123@gmail.com. Thank you for listening and have a great conference.
Hello world. My name is Taona Emma Muhluli. I am a young scientist in the Department of Chemical Pathology at the University of Zimbabwe College of Health Science. I am so excited to be part of the IFCC World Lab Conference in Durban. I would like to thank the IFCC in collaboration with the Zimbabwe Association of Clinical Biochemistry for giving me a scholarship to attend this conference. In my study, I was looking at the human papilloma virus in cervical cancer in Zimbabwe. I chose cervical cancer because it is the second worldwide malignancy in women. And bringing it back to Zimbabwe, 52 in every 100,000 women in Zimbabwe have cervical cancer. And rounding it down, 1 in every 2,000 women in Zimbabwe have cervical cancer. And because of that, the statistic is not conclusive because there are other women in the rural areas who suffer from cervical cancer, but because they have not been to any health facility, they have no clinical data. And secondly, the screening of cervical cancer is mostly done in the urban areas, and therefore in the rural there is little or none done. So the values that I've gave are an underestimate. My project was looking at the high-risk human papilloma virus because it usually causes the cervical cancer. The prevalence of the high-risk human papilloma virus, I found it to have there are about 9 high-risk human papilloma virus that affect the Zimbabwean population. 2 vaccines have been introduced in the Zimbabwean population, but they target only 2 high-risk human papilloma virus genotypes, hence leaving about 7 untargeted. The vaccinations will go a long way in curbing cervical cancer in Zimbabwe, but more is to be done. Hence, my recommendation is there is need to have a vaccination that is developed that targets a large range of the high-risk human papilloma virus. And secondly, there is need for the Zimbabwean population to have a definitive age group of all women who will take the vaccination at a particular age group at a particular time. I thank you.
Hello world. My name is Rayton Prosper Chikwati, a young scientist and a recent graduate with a master's degree in clinical biochemistry from the Department of Chemical Pathology, University of Zimbabwe, College of Health Sciences. My research interest is in vitamin D and pregnancy. I'm excited to be part of the World Lab Durban Conference, where I will also have the unique opportunity of sharing my experience within this study area. Our findings from this study, we found out that there was minimal vitamin D deficiency within the study population in Zimbabwe. While that is the case, we also observed that there were other birth outcomes that were related to the low vitamin D status that we measured in some of the pregnant women. I am therefore looking forward to participate in this conference with an expectation of also continuing with my studies in doctoral studies in this area. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Memory Mashindo Mukwakwami. I am a member of ZACB with an affiliation to the Chemical Pathology in the University College of Health Sciences. I'm also currently pursuing my Master's in Public Health with the University of Hertfordshire. I would love to thank the IFCC for awarding me this opportunity to be part of the IFCC World Lab Durban 2017. It is an opportunity for me to share my work, which includes the toxicity of chrome and gold mining in Zimbabwe. Chrome mining in Zimbabwe has a huge effect on these miners' health, especially respiratory distress, which in effect will cause problems in their lung function. In gold mining in Zimbabwe, there are small-scale artisanal miners, which we refer to as makorokoza, who are in danger with the use of mercury, which they use to purify their gold so that it forms an amalgam, and in turn, this has a huge effect on their health during the processing of this gold. It is our duty to raise awareness on these adverse health effects caused by chrome mining and the use of mercury in gold mining in Zimbabwe. It is also our duty to make sure that these people may be able to continue fending for their families in good health. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, I'm Hilda Tendisa Marima Matarira, the director of AFCC LabMed Internet Radio in ZACB, host in the University of Zimbabwe Multimedia Department. I'm very happy to come to you in the second production of AFCC LabMed Internet Radio. Remember the 25th of November 2016, when El Microscopio linked to us, assisted us to produce the first historic production. We now come to Durban, to the IFCC World Lab, with the second production, but much more advanced in that the Foundation of Emerging Nations, which is an IFCC foundation helping emerging nations, has sponsored us with a seed money, 10,000 Swiss francs, to start the internet radio on the African continent. And on behalf of the ZACB, who are running this internet radio, through its young scientists, whom you will see in many of their productions, as about 15 of them are coming to World Lab Durban, October 2017, that there is a lot to talk about in the world. And we hope that with this multimedia center, we will have a connection, an IP connection at World Lab October 2017, so that for those young scientists and senior scientists worldwide who will not have an opportunity to physically be at World Lab Durban 2017, can be networked through UZ Multimedia Center internet connectivity. And that's the virtual center, a beautiful virtual center, new laboratory for SADC. As we partner with UZ College of Health Sciences Multimedia, we are bringing them to IFCC World Lab October Durban 20th to 2015 to help us to have this connectivity. And I wish to thank the first producers, Henry Maronga and Faith Mabaude Nyarambi, for getting us this far. We are now joined with Gilbert Mofu, the reporter on the Southern News and Zimbabwe News, who this weekend is featuring World Lab Durban, October 2017 to the world. And we have in the United States, Roddy Maponga is our young scientist who is developing the portal for www.health360 Global. It is coming to you as a global international radio, but the first on the African continent, which we are celebrating en route to Durban. As we come down to Durban, the days are now numbered, about 14 days to go. We are appealing to all young scientists, all senior scientists in the world, all federations, to bless the AFCC LabMed Internet Radio with their best wishes. And I hope to see you in Durban as the Secretary of the AFCC, and on behalf of my President, Professor Okesina, who is also the regional representative of the African Federation of Clinical Chemistry and Laboratory Medicine. Behind him is the SA, Association of Clinical Biochemistry Professors, Rajiv Erasmus, Vanessa Steenkamp, and T.S. Pillay, who have been the workhorse on the ground in Durban, breaking all the ground and making history for Africa to bring IFCC 23rd World Lab Conference, a worldwide conference, to Africa for the first time. I'm very happy to be part of the winning dream team on the African continent. On behalf of all of you who are behind this on the ground, the producers, the cameramen, the young scientists, the members in the AFCC, welcome to Africa with a beating drum, which you will see in depth. Thank you.
My name is Lucy Mabaya. I'm 34 years old. I'm from Midland State University in Zimbabwe. I completed my master's degree in clinical biochemistry at the University of Zimbabwe Chemical Pathology Department in 2013. I would like to appreciate the IFCC for granting me this opportunity to go and present my research findings for my master's degree in Durban, South Africa. I look forward to this conference for it to enable me to network with well-renowned scientists who will further mentor me in the field of chemical pathology. In my research, I was looking at the diagnostic utility of neutrophil gelatinase-associated lipocalin for the diagnosis of acute kidney injury in a resource-constrained setting. Basically, in my research, the main objective was to assess the clinical utility of neutrophil gelatinase-associated lipocalin for the diagnosis of acute kidney injury. Currently, the diagnosis of acute kidney injury is based on the gold standard, which is the creatinine and the urea. But these two biomarkers are fraught with so many challenges. They are affected by the muscle mass, they are affected by the diet, and therefore there is need to explore other potential biomarkers that are more superior to these markers. So in my research, I was assessing the utility of neutrophil gelatinase-associated lipocalin, and there is need to look at superior biomarkers because acute kidney injury is a common condition in the emergency department, and it is associated with high mortality and morbidity. I would like to actually further my studies, where I intend to do my PhD studies, again in the field of chemical pathology, where I'm mainly interested in looking at the welfare of the HIV-exposed and uninfected children. I intend to look at how maternal nutritional status affects morbidity, mortality, as well as growth in these HIV-exposed and uninfected children. So I appeal to the IFCC to grant me funding so that I can pursue my studies, so that I could, in the future, I could also be a well-renowned scientist in clinical biochemistry. Thank you.
My name is Shamsom Tembedza. I'm 32 years old. I'm currently working at Premier Clinical Laboratories at Parkview at the renal unit as the head of department in the laboratory. I have a master's degree in chemical pathology from the University of Zimbabwe. I would like to thank the IFCC for allowing me this opportunity to attend the World Lab Conference in Durban, where I'll be presenting my research findings, which was based on the investigation of the association between antiretroviral treatment and nephropathy in HIV-positive children. In this research, I was mainly looking at the markers microalbumin, creatinine, and cystatin C. I was comparing the three markers to find out which one was the best marker, and from the three, cystatin C has been proven to be the best marker since it's not affected by diet and also muscle mass like the others. I would also like to further my studies and do PhD. I'm interested in breast cancer, and I would like to look at biomarkers which can be used, which are easier to find, which can be used to diagnose breast cancer, and which can also be used to treat breast cancer and improve lives. Thank you.
I am John Aneto from the Department of Chemical Pathology, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. I came to Zimbabwe to examine the medical students in chemical pathology. It's my first time in Zimbabwe, and I'm really delighted to have been here. My field of study or research is toxicology and micronutrient metabolism. As many developing countries are industrializing, there's the release of a number of chemicals which most of the institutions don't have the facilities to monitor appropriately, and they can lead to a number of chronic diseases. One key one is cancer, and these diseases, fortunately enough, can also be modulated by the use of antioxidants, which come from micronutrients through the antioxidant hypothesis. I think this is a very good weapon that can be used to control and modulate this big disease, cancer, in Africa. I am a member of a committee of the International Federation of Clinical Chemistry, Committee of Traceability in Laboratory Medicine. This committee is concerned with ensuring that measurements are comparable worldwide. The ultimate aim is to ensure high standard and optimum care, which will raise the standard of care of patients. In Africa, there's variability or variation in compliance. I would appeal that many countries, as much as possible, should be assisted to be compliant, as this will raise the standard of care in these countries. One big challenge in most African countries is that they do not have metrology institutes. In this regard, I want to appeal to IFCC to assist in training individuals to go back to their own countries and establish metrology institutes that will ensure the establishment of traceability agencies that will ultimately ensure good compliance with traceability in measurement in laboratory medicine. And this will finally lead to high standard of care in these countries. I wish you very well in this World Lab Conference this year. Thank you.